crusty crew. Good morning, USA.
Good morning, sports fans. Cam, it's another beautiful, beautiful morning in Syracuse, New York. Unless it isn't, because around here you really never know. Cam, before we dive into sports, I gotta ask you, what is your favorite breakfast food?
Favorite breakfast food? Probably donut.
Ah, good. Favorite flavor of donut?
That's a tough one. You can't give me these right.
I know. Hey, listen, let me tell the audience.
We'll go Boston cream.
Boston cream. That's my favorite too. Favorite breakfast though? Biscuits and gravy.
Nice.
Sits in my stomach like concrete. Reminds me of my grandmother.
Nice.
Because she also was like concrete. Don't think about it too much. Cam, there's not really many sports happening besides the NFL right now. Obviously, we're getting ready to start going to playoff baseball, and when we get to that part, I know you and I are going to have a lot of thoughts, but it was week 1 of the NFL, man. It's a really good time. But the games weren't as good as they could be. Did you notice something this year that, like, the opening games were all kind of sloppy, yeah.
I think it's because teams are really not utilizing the preseason much anymore. It feels like almost every preseason game, most stars will play like maybe 1 or 2 drives, and that's not even per game. I'm saying just like stars will play 1 or 2 drives in the preseason. So for a lot of these people, this is their first game of football since, for some of them, December.
Yeah.
Or early January.
Sure, yeah.
So their first football game in, 9 months?
Exactly.
So I think that, of course, that you're going to be sloppy no matter how good you are at your craft, no matter how much you practice. There's a big difference between practice and actually playing in the real game, live action.
Yeah, practice. Who said anything about practice? Cam, real quick, you were talking about stars playing, and it brought me to our one piece of news today. Little basketball news. Teams may not rest all-stars. They may not rest 2 all-stars in the same game.
Yes.
Is this a win for fans?
It's a win for fans. Maybe not player health.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like some people, I do think that, like, rest games and load management's a good thing. I think some people abuse it. I'm not going to name any names, but I do think some players
Clippers.
I think some players do abuse load management, and it's really, like, especially with tickets being so, like, pricey.
Yeah.
I think it's a ripoff for you to go to a game and 2 or 3 star players on your team are not playing. Like, I think that's a ripoff to the fans, and it's very insulting to the fans. So I like the rule for the fans. Again, for the players that actually should have rest, it's not good, but I do feel like it wasn't a problem until people started abusing it.
Yeah.
Like with some players healthily missing 25 games out of the season. That's really ridiculous.
Cam, name a name. Who are you specifically talking about right now?
I got no one to say.
LeBron James. No, I'm kidding.
LeBron James is
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
It's just LeBron James is usually the butt of every NBA joke. Yeah. So.
Listen, Skip. I'm not gonna.
That was good.
Listen,
that was
LeBron.
Good.
LeBron's not a good.
He's not a. Hey, LeBron
do
is.
not shit on LeBron.
I'm not.
Okay.
We'll have the craziest fans ever trying to dox us and then kill us. So no.
I don't hate LeBron.
I don't either, but I'm saying his fans are insane. They would do anything for him.
His diehard fans are insane.
Yeah, exactly. Cam, diving into the NFL season. Let's start with that Thursday night game. Lions-Chiefs.
Okay. That might have been the cleanest game of football this weekend.
Yeah.
And it was, actually, no, I'd say second. It was one of the cleanest games of football, like, non-sloppy.
Yeah.
It was still very sloppy.
It was still very sloppy. I need to ask you a question. Did this game prove that the Kansas City Chiefs over-rely on Travis Kelce?
Yes.
I think so, too.
I wouldn't say it completely proves it, but it definitely does show they have a big reliance on Kelce, which, again, every single team, if you take out their number 1 option, is going to struggle.
For sure.
Especially if the QB and that number 1 option have worked together for so long.
Exactly. It was an interesting game. For those who don't know, the Chiefs lost 21-20 to the Detroit Lions. I know I'm negative on the Detroit Lions. I think they looked better than I thought they would. I do want to say I think this is more of a loss for the Chiefs than a win for the Lions. Does that make sense at all?
I'd agree with that. If the Chiefs wide receivers were catching the balls that they should have caught,
Kadarius Toney looked unacceptable.
This would not have been a close game.
Exactly. So Thursday Night Football, I was hyped. It didn't quite live up to it, but it wasn't disappointing as Monday Night Football, and we'll get to that at the end of this. Then we got Bengals and Browns, the 1 o'clock game on Sunday. Joe Burrow looking absolutely unprepared and shaken, just days after getting the biggest contract in NFL history.
Yeah.
Is that, like you said, is that preseason rust? is... What are your thoughts on that, man?
I wouldn't count Joe Burrow out too quickly because...
I mean, this happened last year.
Yes, against the Steelers, he threw 4 picks. I think Burrow has a habit of... Again, I don't know him personally, so I can't say like he actually has a habit of something. But from what I've seen, it seems that he has a habit of starting off very underwhelming in the regular season, but coming back to like...
Yeah.
Like, again, he's a very good QB, top 5 QB in the NFL.
For sure.
But he does seem to have a rough stretch of Week 1 games.
Yeah, I think part of it was that injury. Obviously he didn't choose to not play in the preseason.
He didn't play any of the preseason. He's just coming off of an injury. Of course, you're going to be shaky in the pocket when you can't run around as much. Again, like,
and I'm sure there's that fear that if he gets
yes.
hurt, he's going to lose more time. But
yes.
The Browns did look good. We talked about the Browns defense in our episode 1. The defense looked pretty solid. Zadarius Smith and Myles Garrett teamed up to be that pair we thought they would. The offense, I wasn't as sold on. I think Deshaun looked better than I thought he would. He still is not the savior of the Cleveland Browns.
He still had one of the worst picks of
the
league.
He really did. That was pretty bad. Yeah. But that Browns defense did look pretty good. Yes. Next we got Texans-Ravens. A game that at the beginning of it, there were a lot of slow games on Sunday, especially in that early window.
The score doesn't tell the whole story because
really
that game
doesn't.
was closer than it should have been.
Yeah.
For the Ravens.
I think we need to start with the devastating injury to Dobbs. Tore his Achilles. Not the only person who tore their Achilles. Like I said, we'll get to that on Monday Night Football. Really, really sad because he looked pretty good before he got injured.
A touchdown.
So, you feel bad for him. You never want to see anyone.
It's like his second or third significant injury of his NFL career, so, yeah.
You do start worrying. Hopefully he can heal and bounce back, and I believe this was the last year of his rookie contract, so hopefully in free agency he can negotiate something. The Ravens didn't look good here, man. Let's be honest.
Lamar did not look good.
Who did look good? Justice Smith getting into the end zone twice. I don't know if anyone had that predicted for this Ravens game.
Justice Hill scoring 2 touchdowns was very surprising.
Oh, Justice Hill, I'm sorry, I misspoke.
But again, maybe he's a big waiver wire pickup because you like to talk about fantasy so much.
Yeah.
With J.K. Dobbins being out, I think they have a new star running back.
Yeah.
Another player who looked very good was the rookie, Zay Flowers.
He did. He looked incredible. He's a small guy who plays like he's a much bigger receiver than he actually is, and I find that really compelling. The Texans' offense was just completely stalled out.
Yeah. Again, it's tough when you have a rookie QB, especially one with not a very good receiving core, and especially in his first game, it's going to be tough. But I'm not going to give up on him completely, but it was a very stalled-looking offense. I was impressed with the defense, though. Again, they did allow 24 points, but I think, again, I told you in the last episode, I think D'Amico Ryans is going to be a good coach. And
you were completely right.
Well, we don't know yet. Game 1.
But game 1, he coached the defense.
He played to his strengths. He's a defensive coach. Again, I think he could end up being someone like what many people hope Robert Saleh could end up being, is someone who first starts with the defense, builds that really good defense, and again, we'll talk about that later, but can soon build a good offense.
Yeah. Cam, I need to ask you, C.J. Stroud who did he throw his first reception to? Do you know?
Himself.
Who was the other person who did that?
Brett Favre.
There you go.
So does that mean he's going to be traded from the Texans after year 1?
Who knows? Maybe he'll end up in the Vikings, and that'll bring me a lot of joy. Buccaneers Vikings. Speaking of the Vikings, oof baboof. I honestly don't know where to start with this game.
I know where to start.
Hit me with it, man.
The Vikings should have won, but Kirk Cousins did not play well at all.
Yeah, I think
the defense did their job. What was the end score? Was it
2017?
2017, yeah. Defense did an average job. Kirk just looked horrendous. Justin Jefferson did what he was supposed to do. The Buccaneers did a good job adjusting at halftime. Justin Jefferson, I believe, only caught two catches in the second half after having 7 for around a little bit over 130 in the first half. They did a good job locking him up in the second. Kirk, he was playing like primetime Kirk when he usually plays like 1 p.m. Kirk.
Yeah, I will say this. There's a certain amount of luck that comes with winning one-score games, right? And the Vikings were the king of one-score games.
Which I said last time, is I think that they'll take a step down. I'm still not giving up on them on winning the NFC North.
For sure, no.
Because again, you can make assumptions from week 1, but you can't make super tough
assumptions. I'm still scared to play them as a Packers fan. I'm not looking forward to that.
I don't think one bad game is going to be...
No.
But I don't think if you redo last season, they don't win the amount of games they do.
For sure.
and I think it's a lot less
Yeah.
because of those one-score games.
Yeah. That was, I don't know, do you think that galvanized that Buccaneers team? You think that's
That
something
definitely
that,
helps. A week one win does so much for an organization.
especially when you were written off by
Yes,
everybody.
when you're written off, a week one win is huge.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not saying the Buccaneers are going to be good. I still don't think they're going to be a very good team, but it's a great locker room thing when everyone wrote you off, especially against a team that was the number 3 team
Yep.
in the NFC last year.
How do you think Baker looked for the Buccaneers?
He looked good. I wouldn't say he looked great. He looked like Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Like Baker Mayfield on a good day.
He had a good pocket presence.
Yeah.
Like here's the thing. Baker Mayfield has a lot of intangibles. I think his physical skills are where the Buck kind of stopped short because, speaking of short, he's not the tallest guy. There's been some pocket issues.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I don't think Baker's as bad as people says he is because he's been in some shitty situations. Like his bad year on the Browns in his last year, he was hurt the whole season. He was on 2 bad teams last year in the Panthers and the Rams.
And he managed to look good in the Rams for one game.
Yes. So I'm not going to give up on him. I never think he'll be a good QB, but I don't think he's as bad as people says he is. I think he's a mediocre quarterback, and he played like a mediocre quarterback last week.
Well, speaking about playing like a mediocre quarterback, we got Panthers Falcons.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on? Let's start with Bryce Young.
Yeah.
Panthers quarterback, rookie. He looked frustrated in that game. Did you notice that he seemed? I know DJ Chark out with an injury. Adam Thielen was kind of boxed up by Jesse Bates, and then Jonathan Mingo, who kind of he was sharing a lot of love to during the preseason. There wasn't really that connection there. Did you kind of pick up on that
Yeah.
seeming wall between him and the receivers?
Yeah. And again, the first game you're always like nervous, you're always flustered. So it was a tough. He didn't look very good, but again, that's the first game. I don't think many QBs look good in their first game.
I mean, he did manage a couple long drives down the field.
Yeah.
He was putting together some good action. His pick didn't look entirely on him.
Yeah.
I think he threw 2, maybe, that Jesse Bates?
Jesse Bates, yeah.
Yeah, Jesse Bates ended up grabbing. So, hopefully he doesn't get too discouraged. But the Falcons, I do think, should feel pretty good.
Yeah.
Bijan looked like the stud everyone said he was going to be.
Yep.
Desmond Ridder looked not great. He didn't look horrendous, though.
Again, he didn't lose him the game.
Exactly.
They capitalized off the mistakes. The one thing I want to say, Drake London had 0 receptions, the person they spent the number 8 pick on last year.
Yeah.
He had a very solid rookie season. I think he had around 800 yards last year. That's a little bit concerning.
That's kind of strange.
Because he's someone they're hoping is going to be their number 1 receiver this year. When you use a top 10 pick on
For
someone,
sure.
you expect them to be good. And I'm not blaming that on Drake London or Desmond Ridder. I'm saying they need to work on that connection.
Yeah.
Though.
And the scheming, I think, needs to be. I think
Again,
some of those plays
they
need to be.
And they
retooled.
need to keep getting the ball to Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, Kyle Pitts is a stud, and I just don't understand why he isn't utilized more. The Falcons are exciting to watch again, though, which is it's fun.
Yeah.
With Marcus Mariota, he's a better backup quarterback than some, but he plays a specific kind of football. When he was in Oregon, he had wheels on him, dude. He was really fun to watch. When he was with Atlanta, especially last year, it was just kind of like watching paint dry. Like, Falcons games just weren't fun.
Yeah.
Your most fun would be with Cordell Patterson, the Joker now. That was a fun Falcons game. Like Bijan is fun to watch.
Yeah.
And it's nice when football is fun to watch, especially now that this is our job. It's fun when we can have fun with it.
Yeah. No, I completely agree.
But here's what wasn't fun. Cardinals Commanders was not fun. Josh Dobbs, Sam Howell quarterback battle. Did anyone really win that game? Like, the fans surely didn't win.
No. I think the Cardinals.
Interesting. Why is that?
They didn't get whooped.
That's true. They didn't get whooped.
I think, especially someone like Josh Dobbs, didn't turn the ball over once. Someone who was signed 3 weeks ago, he did not make as many mistakes as people thought he would. He didn't look great, but, I think that's a win. I think them not getting completely destroyed is a win.
Yeah, okay. That's true. I like it. Sam Howell looked fine.
Yes.
I do think some coaching changes need to happen in Washington. I think Ron Rivera is a really galvanizing force, and I'd love to see him stay in that organization.
I think he's a good locker room presence, but I don't think he's a great play caller.
Yeah, he needs
coach.
better coordinators. Yeah.
Yes.
Uh,
But again, he's a guy you'd want to be in the locker room. Very inspiring guy. Seems like a very cool guy.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's your coach for the future.
yeah, exactly. Speaking of the future, Jaguars Colts, man.
That was an exciting game.
Yeah, let's start with the Colts. Obviously, not having Jonathan Taylor, we kind of knew someone was going to have to step up. I didn't plan on having it be Michael Pittman Jr., but I'm not upset about it.
Yeah.
It's been a while since the Colts have had like a good receiver. Like I feel like for the last couple of years, it's been the Jonathan Taylor show in Indiana.
Pittman's had a 1,000-yard season.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like they've kind of been quiet 1,000-yard seasons. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I would love to see him like flourish into a star receiver this year. I think that'd be incredible. Maybe this is a hot take. I think Anthony Richardson looked the best of all the first year.
It's not a hot take at all.
Okay, I don't know.
He looked very comfortable.
He did. What he needs to stop doing is lowering his shoulder. And
Yes.
Look, man, please, you will not survive a 17-game season.
Yes.
Like, do not do that. He looked like a stud, but kind of a stupid stud.
Big difference between college defenses and the
Yeah.
NFL.
They will put you on your ass in the NFL.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Jaguars, they're as good as we thought they would be. They are not.
Trevor Lawrence seems to be on the same trajectory that he
Yeah.
was last season. Calvin Ridley looked great. A little bit quiet from Christian Kirk.
Really quiet from
But-
Christian Kirk.
Calvin Ridley definitely made up for that.
Yeah,
But you'd
for
like
sure.
to see both of them be able to flourish. That probably did have the weirdest play of the week.
Hit us with it. Give us the
Colts
description.
Jags,
Yeah.
When I'm trying to fit. So the Jaguars fumbled the ball.
Yep.
And a Jaguars player picked it up, I
Yep.
believe. And then a Colts player knocked it out of. I believe it was Zaire Franklin actually who knocked it out. Syracuse guy.
There we go.
Representing Cuse. And then DeForest Buckner picked it up and ran to the end zone.
It
was just a really weird play.
There was a text exchange between Cam and I going, all right, that's something we got to talk about on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a Sports Center negative top 10 because that's one of those plays that Zaire would probably love to forget about.
Not at all. He forced the fumble.
That's true. Who picked the ball up?
DeForest Buckner. Oh, for the Jags?
Yeah.
Oh, I have zero clue.
Okay, well, I'm sure he'd like to forget about it.
Yeah.
Zaire, great job forcing the fumble. Man, here's the game that I'm excited to talk about. Niners Steelers.
What was exciting about that game?
Brock Purdy he might be the future of the NFL, dude.
Future of the NFL, I wouldn't say, but future franchise QB, I agree.
He can hang. Okay. Maybe this is just me. I had Brock Purdy as quick phenomena. He was going to suck, and then he was going to fade into, hey, remember when this Mr. Irrelevant was decent?
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to suck. I did not expect him to look as good as he did, though.
And like I said, that expectation could have just been a me thing. I'm fully willing to own up to that. I had fun being wrong in that game.
Yep.
I loved watching Brock Purdy, and you know who looked phenomenal that game?
TJ Watt.
TJ Watt looked good. Brandon Ayuk.
Mm-hmm.
He was fine in the end zone. After a kind of, I would say, a quieter year last year, 49ers looked good. The Steelers
Did not.
They didn't.
Kenny Pickett, who was expected to make a bunch of major leaps, did not look very good.
No.
Deontay Johnson's, I believe, was out for a few weeks. He got
Yep.
injured during that game. Yeah, it was just not a good game for the Steelers.
Pickens was kept pretty quiet.
Yeah.
It was disappointing.
Do you think the Niners are the best team in the NFC now?
I want to see more from the Eagles, not in a torrential rainstorm.
Okay, I'd agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
And that's coming from an Eagles fan.
Yeah.
I was a little bit. We'll talk about the Eagles game.
it was kind of interesting because Jalen's best weapon is his legs. Like he can throw, but he's got wheels. And that grass was.
We'll talk
people
about
were
it when we
slipping
get
and
to-
sliding.
We'll talk about
so.
when we get to the Eagles game, but the Niners.
The Niners for sure need to be in the conversation for best team in the NFC.
Along with another team in a very infamous game this week, but
Yeah, well, we'll hit that. The less we can say about that one, the better.
yeah.
Cam, Titans Saints.
Oh, that game
Boring.
sucked.
It was boring. It sucked.
Tannehill looked horrendous.
Tannehill looked
which is
god-awful.
really an indictment on Will Levis and Malik
Yeah.
Willis that Tannehill was that bad, and they're like, this guy's our QB.
Yeah.
That's
That's how you put mayo in your coffee. That's all I'm saying. It holds you down. Yeah, Tannehill didn't look good.
Carr looked decent. Rashid Shaheed had a very good game.
Yeah. Carr, in his one game, already did the fine I'll do it myself Carr look that he had with the Raiders last year.
He's at home.
He's an evil looking man. What can I say? Like he just looks scary. You know what? Here's my win for that game. That New Orleans crowd was crazy.
Yes.
Like they were.
I thought
It
there
was
an
like a
audio-
Seattle game.
I thought there was So I was watching it on Red Zone.
Okay.
And I thought I had.
Which is the best way to watch football because I was doing the exact same.
I thought I had an audio problem with my
Yeah.
TV because like, the sound.
Yeah.
In the Superdome.
Yes.
Is it the Superdome?
Yes, it's the
Yeah,
Superdome.
the Superdome.
Hulk Hogan thought it
Yeah,
was the Silver
I was about
Dome.
to say, that would always confuse me for life because I'm always
Yeah.
wondering. I always think about is this the Silver Dome or the?
Always
Superdome?
assume that Hulk Hogan is wrong. That's the
Yeah.
best way to live your life in 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
But
was,
like I thought there was a problem.
it
with
was
my
like a
TV
game
because
at
it was
Lumen
like
Field.
so loud.
Yeah, exactly. They and like, man, when the fans are getting crazy, it's kind of infectious. But that was a pretty boring game. Raiders Broncos.
I love watching Sean Payton lose. I'm actually rooting for Russell Wilson because I thought that, again, I talked about it last time, he was unfairly shit on by everyone.
This guy included.
And not because he was bad. He deserved to be shit on for his play, but I feel like there was a lot of indictment on his character, which like
he's corny, but he's not.
But again, he's always been that way.
Yeah, true.
But like, then when he's bad, everyone wants to start like jumping on.
I think it's because it's easy to silence the haters with greatness.
Yeah, but I'm just
mediocrity isn't great at that.
So as much as I'm rooting for Russ, I'm not rooting for Sean Payton. I think
No.
Sean Payton's a piece of shit. And yeah, I love how an offense run by the worst head coach in NFL history still managed to win a game with Zach Wilson compared to Sean Payton.
Yeah, Josh McDaniel is that was some interesting play calling from the Raiders.
I'm talking about Nathaniel Hackett. The Jets.
Also true.
There's a little callback.
No, there you go. That's good. But Josh McDaniel, I'm not the biggest fan of him as a head coach.
Oh no.
But that offense was.
I think both teams will not be very good, but
No.
Jacoby Myers looked very good.
Jacoby Myers looked very good. I believe he was injured.
Yeah, I believe he has a concussion.
Oof, that's not great. Devontae, he looked like Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
He's reaching, he's slowing down a little bit. His best years were spent in Green Bay, and we couldn't get a ring. But he looked, he looked okay. Jimmy G, his foot injury didn't hold him back too much. I would have loved to see a little bit more mobility from him. But like I said, older quarterback. This is a transition period for the Raiders.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe who is it? O'Connor. What's the name of the?
Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah, I would love. The fans seem to love him.
Yeah.
So hopefully Jimmy G. I mean, Jimmy G's been in the league a long time. He's an intelligent guy. Hopefully he can teach him some things, and that can be the future.
Yeah.
That would be nice to see. Eagles Patriots.
Yeah.
A monsoon was happening in Gillette.
I was very excited for the game. I was very disappointed, even though they won. So a win's a win, but Hurts did not look like himself. And
No.
I understand it's in the rain, and I understand there's a new offensive coordinator, but he did not look like himself. His throwing was not very impressive. His running was even less impressive.
What
I
would you
feel like-
attribute that to?
Zero clue.
Okay.
We're gonna have to see because it could just be the weather.
Yeah.
It could be the offensive coordinator. It could be Hurts. It could be.
Could be the legendary Super Bowl slump.
Yeah, but well, we'll see in the next few weeks. We'll see tomorrow
Yeah.
because they play tomorrow.
There we go. Hey, I promise you, we'll get to that. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, no, we'll see tomorrow. And then the defense looked good. Their linebacking was a little bit more you'd want from that because
Shaky.
there was a lot of Hunter Henry was
Yeah.
eating that up, which is basically tight end in the middle of the field, person who's supposed to
Yeah.
be guarded by a linebacker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We didn't quite get the Georgia Eagles like we thought we were gonna get.
Jalen Carter looked incredible though.
He did, but I'm just saying this was kind of vaulted by many pundits as Iron Curtain 2, and maybe that was just an unfair expectation, but we certainly
That's a
didn't
very
get
unfair
that.
expectation. This is a very young team. The Georgia Eagles or the Philly Bulldogs, or whatever you'd like to call them, all these guys are, at most, 3 years into their careers.
Hey, I didn't say it. I'm just repeating it,
I know, and
which probably makes me as worse.
But the Patriots, Belichick did a good job
Yeah.
coaching against. He's a very good defensive coach. It's always tough to get.
Juju did not look good. I think the Jacoby Myers, we're trying to replace Jacoby with Juju, giving Juju the same, the money that Jacoby was asking for. I think that's going to show to be a Robert Kraft L.
Yeah, just never mind. Continue.
I know you have thoughts on the Kraftster, and that's okay. Brady was there, and God, His face pisses me off. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like Tom Brady. I respect him as the GOAT, but his face still he makes me angry.
I don't dislike Brady. I liked him more once he went to Tampa because like I
didn't like him kissing Robert Kraft. That was kind of strange.
I don't think he kissed him, but like it really looked like he was going to.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he thought it was his son.
Womp womp womp. All right, I don't have a transition for this next part. Rams Seahawks.
Rams look better than I thought.
They looked way better. It was Sean McVay. This was all him and Matt Stafford. It was 100%.
Puka Nacua.
Well, yes, but I'm saying like
5th round rookie out of BYU.
I don't think Puka Nacua is going to be like a consistent part of his offense. He was kind of lined up in that slot where they have Cooper Kupp a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't see them like,
Yeah, no.
Hey Cooper, stay on the sideline. Puka's got this. I just don't see that happening too often.
Why'd you say it like that?
That's my Sean McVay impression. I'm sorry. I gotta hold a clipboard in front of my face.
No, like the really accentuated Puka.
Because it's a great name, Puka Nacua.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's gonna be as invisible as you thought. I know they're not gonna sit Cooper Kupp for him, but I'm saying it's a good sign that once Cooper Kupp is gone, everyone's like, oh, like
True.
who is he gonna throw the ball to now? Puka Nacua.
Puka Nacua. Yeah, I agree with you. I do think Sean McVay coached his heart out.
I think it's Puka Nacua. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Puka Nacua.
Yeah.
I'm a big Nacua guy. I'm a Nacua head. So, yeah, Sean McVay coached his heart out. Dolphins Chargers, a shootout.
The best game of the
Yo, it was so much fun to watch. I know I talk about fantasy probably too much. Having both Tyreek Hill and Austin Eckler.
Yeah.
That was a nice time for me.
Yeah. Tua had one of the best Week 1 performances of all time. He looked incredible.
He looked great. Jalen Waddle didn't get too much love.
No.
You would think people would scheme more about blocking and guarding Tyreek Hill. I guess not. I don't know. I guess they decided Jalen Waddle is more of a threat, and they probably learned their lesson. Chargers, Justin Herbert looked good, which, of all the players who got their big money extensions, he kind of looked the best.
He did.
He has a lot of weapons there. Obviously, for example, Austin Eckler, like I said, still looked good, but even some of the older receivers.
Keenan Allen.
Yeah, Keenan Allen looked great. It was just a good showing for the Chargers fans.
Yeah.
Can't be mad at it.
Yeah.
You know what I really can't be mad at? Green Bay Packers. Chicago Bears. Packers look good, man.
Say what you want to say.
They look good. That's what I'm saying. Jordan Love.
This is your segment, talk.
Okay. Can we talk about Jordan Love's no-look pass? I felt so good seeing that. No, so honestly, I'm probably overreacting because the Bears are really bad. And it was probably, honestly, more of a Bears, it was less the Packers looking phenomenal, the Bears looking really bad. I want to make that very clear. But I just kind of relish being happy right now, man. Packers looked good. Jaden Reed looked good. Romeo Doubs looked really like a stud. Not having Christian Watson, I think, didn't affect them as much as I thought they were. I think part of this was whether or not Romeo Doubs was going to play was all day kind of up in the air. And then when we heard he was going to, it was he'll play very few snaps. And instead he was just playing all game.
Yeah.
Can I talk about my favorite part of that game though?
Of course.
Quay Walker. Pick six.
Yeah.
I love a good big man pick six. That does a lot for me.
Yeah. Just keep him away from the trainers.
I was pretty upset with him. Week 18 last year. Packers look good. Bears did not. DJ Moore.
Well, again, it's tough when Justin Fields.
Yeah, I know exactly. I'm not blaming him. I'd love to see DJ Moore be good. Had he stayed in Carolina, I think he and Bryce Young could have been a very formidable duo. Justin Fields, not so much.
Well, they wouldn't have had Bryce Young.
Well, no, for sure. But I'm just saying, if we could have found a way to make that happen.
Yeah.
That Bears offense just felt stagnant. But even though they felt stagnant, they didn't put up 0 points.
Yep.
Was there a team who did?
Yeah, there was. It's okay.
I'm shitting all over the Giants, and I'm not even trying to.
I'm not afraid to talk about it because, the Giants. All I have to say is, remember 2 years ago, freshman year?
Yeah.
You were very excited for the Packers to play. Remember what happened? They played the Saints week 1.
It was a bad time.
Remember Aaron Rodgers threw 2 picks?
Yep.
They lost 38-3.
That is correct. That did happen. They bounced.
Where'd they go that year?
I can tell you this. Not only were they in the playoffs,
They made the
NFC Championship.
Yep, and I'm just forgetting who won MVP that year.
Aaron Rodgers. Listen.
Okay.
Hey.
So
okay.
I let you talk. Now it's my turn.
Okay. Can I say one thing real quick? First off, I was just kidding. I think the Giants are going to be quite good this year.
I don't, but you gotta let me be delusional.
I gotta let you sink in your own delulu. I just want to say, after that Packers lost the first game, I said they were going to win the next 7, and they did. Just want to say that. That was my.
And the Giants are going to bounce back. That's my thing.
Will they win the next 7?
I don't know about that, but they got a game against the Cardinals next week, so hopefully they take advantage of that.
That'll be a good refresh.
Get the team morale up. So, my delusional moment, Daniel Jones will win MVP this year. But in all seriousness, I like Brian Daboll as a coach. I think this game is a big turning point in his career as a coach where he's either going to, and for this team as a whole morale-wise, are they either going to give up, say we lost by 40 to Cowboys, we put up 0 points, or are they going to be like, we're the laughing stock right now, everyone's making fun of us. Everyone talks about how bad we are right now. Let's go improve it wrong. Let's make the playoffs like we did last year. Let's show them that we're not complete dog shit. Listen, there were some factors that went into the game. One, the Giants played horribly. They looked like they were unprepared. I wouldn't discount there was a lot of rain at the time.
Sure. But
that doesn't take away from the fact that they put up 0 points and the Cowboys put up 40. There was fumbling all over the place. Daniel Jones threw one legit interception. He did throw a pick 6, but that was not his fault. Saquon caught the ball and got knocked out. That was not Daniel Jones' fault. I love how everyone who didn't watch the game is like, oh, you paid this guy $40 million? Yeah, we did. And we're gonna keep paying him $40 million for the next 4 years.
Wow, the madness just overtook you for a second.
Yeah.
There was a lot of pain when you said that.
No, not at all. I think the Giants did what they had to do by paying Daniel Jones, and I think, well, again, he did not play well, but it's tough to have a good game when you have 2 seconds of protection every play.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones got sacked 7 times. I believe he probably got hit 2 times, maybe even more than that. I think that there are a lot of overreactions being made, and rightfully so to some extent. A 40-0 loss on Sunday Night Football is very bad.
Let's stop talking about who looked bad, and let's talk about who looked really good.
The Cowboys, they can look as good as they want. They'll lose in the divisional round like they do every year. So,
will Dak run out of time to snap the ball, or even better, will they leave a running back in the middle of the field to play center? Here's all I'm saying.
But they look very good, and they might be a challenger in the NFC.
Here's what I think happened. I think the Cowboys looked good. I think people are going to overreact.
Mm-hmm.
I do think they looked good. I don't want to make it clear that I think Micah Parsons might have solidified his depoy last night.
Oh, he's incredible.
Or on Sunday. I'm sorry.
No, Micah Parsons is incredible.
Yeah, he looked like a stud. I still don't trust Dak Prescott as a quarterback. This is not 2016 Dak anymore. So I don't know.
I got one more thing to say. I think the Giants would have lost that game. I think if they don't have their kick block in return for a touchdown,
I do think that was
that's a huge momentum killer because they had a very long drive, a very good drive. They looked very good, and then everything just stopped after that. Think about that first drive. They did look very good. They drove into like the 20-yard line. Of course, they took a sack, so they had to kick a field goal. I think that, again, I wonder what happens if there isn't that blocked kick for a touchdown.
Let me ask you real quick. Prediction: will the Giants be shut out again this year?
No, there are not many teams that get shut out. The Giants will not be shut out again.
There we go. All right. Time to talk about the last thing. I am not the biggest Aaron Rodgers fan. I really love what he did for the Packers. But I was rooting against him in this Jets-Bills game. What I was not rooting for is the season-ending injury that occurred, tearing his Achilles. I just want to make it very clear. It's okay to not like players, and I'll look into the camera and try and be respectful. I say this because I'm kind of sick of the internet discourse. It's okay not to like players. Actively celebrating and hoping that someone gets worse injured, is messed up.
Yes.
That's a man's career. I don't like Aaron Rodgers. Celebrating that he tore his Achilles and his career might be over. Not okay. I just want to make that very clear.
Yeah. He did post on Instagram today saying that he plans to come back next year.
Interesting. Well, I didn't see that. I hope he does.
I believe he posted that.
What?
If I read the caption wrong, then maybe.
Hey, well, what Garrett Wilson said, he said he went to the training room at halftime, and Aaron just said, "Sorry, kid." And like hearing Garrett Wilson say that Aaron said that, it's just like really sad. The Jets still won though.
Yeah.
Cause undrafted free agent Xavier Gibson, I believe
Xavier
it is.
Gibson, yeah.
Stud.
I wouldn't call him a stud just yet, but that was a great end.
Yeah.
You sound sick.
No, just a cough.
Do you know who else played like he was sick?
Who?
Josh Allen.
Oh, geez, yeah. Many turnovers.
I think a big reason that is the Jets defense looked very good. Of
Yeah.
course, I'm not saying Jets defense is the reason Josh Allen threw 4 picks. Josh Allen did not look very good at all, but the Jets defense did look very good, and that's why I think they still have a chance to make the playoffs this year. I would not write them off just yet.
I wouldn't either. And if they make the playoffs, right? Do you think? Well, let me ask you this: even if they don't make the playoffs, you think Aaron Rodgers is sticking around on that sideline and trying to mentor these players, or you think he's?
I don't know, because so I watched Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
And it looked like he was being a very good mentor.
He was chill Aaron, and
Yeah, but here's the thing: Aaron Rodgers has been shown to change on a dime, and also, Hard Knocks seemed a little bit like a PR stunt.
Oh, for sure.
For Aaron Rodgers,
As a
because
PR professional, let me tell you, yes, it is.
Aaron Rodgers was in probably the worst. Like, he was held in the worst light that he's ever been in. Like, people did not like him. People thought he was a diva, a dick. And then Hard Knocks comes out, and everyone seems to like him again. I did not see one bad thing about Aaron Rodgers. He seemed like it was a very good PR stunt that worked out to make Aaron Rodgers more likable again.
Can I give you real quick my Aaron Rodgers comparison?
What?
Aaron Rodgers equals CM Punk.
Well, yeah. They even look a little bit alike.
They do. Yeah, it's kind of the Midwest look. All right, Cam, we talked about last week's NFL games.
Yep.
There's a path, though. Before you go to the NFL, you got to go in college. So, Cam, give us Syracuse football, and then you've got a little bit more you want to say. Hit us with the truth, man.
So, Syracuse football. First off, I'm going to say rest in peace to Mike Williams. He passed away, I believe, yesterday or the day before that in a construction accident. So, rest in peace to Syracuse alum Mike Williams. It's really sad. I believe he's only 36. And Syracuse played very well against Western Michigan, beat the spread for the second game in a row. They looked very good. Hopefully Rondé Gadsden and David Woolabar are okay, and hopefully they're playing next week. We still haven't, I don't believe we've gotten any input on the extent of their injuries.
We know Woolabar might be injured longer than Gadsden.
Okay.
We know that one might keep him out for a while.
Okay. And the people are worried Gadsden might be out for a while too, but
yeah.
I haven't seen any updates on that, so I'll probably check after this. But,
there we go.
Purdue, that's my game of the week for college also. I think this is Syracuse's first big challenge of the year, and I think they should win.
Yeah. For my college game of the week, it's kind of an off week for college football. I think UNC, Minnesota, could be, kind of fun to watch. South Carolina, Georgia, obviously, sometimes it's just fun to watch Georgia kill people. And then, like you said, Syracuse, Purdue should be quite good. Another one that might be interesting, Florida and Tennessee.
Yeah.
The SEC goes raucous. What can we say? NFL, lightning round, Cam. Here's how this is going to work. I am going to give you a game. You're going to tell me who's going to win.
Okay.
And if you have like a quick thought you want to say,
yeah,
feel free. Thursday Night Football, Vikings, Eagles.
Birds all the way, baby.
Go Birds. Ravens, Bengals.
Ravens, Bengals. I think the Bengals bounce back.
Nice. I like it. Seahawks, Lions.
I think the Lions continue a little bit of a hot streak.
There we go. Colts, Texans.
Colts, Texans, I think the Colts win.
Yeah, I think so too. Bears, Buccaneers.
I think the Buccaneers win 2 in a row.
I would love it. Chiefs, Jaguars.
Chiefs, Jags.
I
don't know. I think the Jaguars can pull it off again. Actually, I don't see the Chiefs losing 2 in a row, though. But I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a toss-up.
I know.
If I had to...
Let me ask you this,
Let's
Cam.
go Jags. Let's go some...
Yeah, I think the Jags, too.
Chaos.
Kelsey, not only injured. Do you know the news about him?
He might be dating Taylor Swift.
He might be dating Taylor Swift. Oh, that'd be... Kelsey
so are you ready for the next... Travis Kelce might be name dropped or referenced in a song.
That'd be so much fun.
In like 6 months.
That'd be so great. Oh.
Yeah, the next breakup song will be about Travis Kelce, I guess.
Well, it's awkward because Taylor Swift is from Philly, I believe. So, his brother Jason, she could have had the hometown. No offense to Kylie, who New Heights podcast, great. I just want to say I had so much fun listening to it. And Kylie, Jason's wife, was on. And it was great listen. Packers Falcons. This will be a really fun game, I think.
I think the Packers win.
I think so too. I think Quay Walker is gonna pick up Bijan Robinson, spine buster, and then Bijan's done for the
Wait,
entire
Bijan's the trainer?
Stop. Spinebusters do happen to trainers though in the WWE, so it could happen. Raiders Bills.
I think the Bills win.
I think so too. I think
They're gonna come back from that.
exactly. And if they lose to the Raiders, then maybe we begin the Bills are cooked party, and that'd be a fun time. Chargers Titans Chargers. It's not even
Chargers, yeah. I agree.
I'd love to see Austin Eckler and Derrick Henry get in a fist fight. I think that could be really fun.
I don't think Austin Eckler would win.
No, I don't think so either. I just think it'd be fun to watch. Niners Rams.
Niners.
Yeah.
But I think the Rams could put up a good fight. Is it in LA?
I don't have that information. I'm sorry, but it'll be right here on the screen if it is.
It's in LA.
Okay.
The bottom team is always the
Okay,
the home
there
team.
we go.
Yeah.
Giants Cardinals. Giants El Gigantes.
Danny Dimes combines for 3 or more touchdowns.
There we go. Saquon tears his Achilles. No, I'm just kidding. I don't hope that. I do have a feeling I think this is gonna be a very injury-ridden season.
I agree.
And you know how sometimes in professional wrestling, and I will say Cam and I are both. Cam's much smaller of a wrestling fan than I am. He used to be one. I'm still a man-child, so I still care about it. There's something called the injury bug, and once every 6 years, everyone gets hurt.
Yeah, it was
We kind of see
in 2016.
Oh, don't talk about it. Don't bring that year up.
Was that right? Was it 2016?
Yeah, and we haven't had it in about 7 years, so I'm really scared people are gonna start dropping like flies. My point being, we sometimes see that in the NFL, and this could be one of those seasons. Jets, Cowboys. It's gotta be the Cowboys.
Fuck the Cowboys.
Unless
Jets are gonna win.
Is there any chance the Jets contact Tom Brady about coming out of retirement?
I don't think it would happen, but
Do you think they're rolling with Zach Wilson?
I think until he has a really bad game, yes.
Okay, and then maybe Carson Wentz.
I could see that.
Joe Flacco, maybe.
I'd go with Wentz over Flacco.
But I'm saying here's the thing. Do you think they're going to commit to tanking? Do you think they're going to actually try and be competitive?
They're going to try to be competitive. This was one of the years they put all the chips on the table. You don't just because one big piece falls out,
True.
You're not done.
Yeah.
I think they keep with Zach Wilson until he has a really bad game, and I think he's going to continue to win.
There we go. As long as there's hot moms in the arena, he definitely will. He's kind of like Jordan Poole.
Well, the Cowboys, I just feel like they won so well last game. I don't know if they're going to ride on that momentum.
Commanders Broncos.
Broncos
country, let's ride.
I think the Broncos win.
Yeah. Dolphins Patriots. Dolphins. Fins up.
Patriots are tough to play though, especially at home.
Yeah, true. Big AFC East game. Saints Panthers. Double Monday night games.
I think the Saints win.
I think so too. But I think it'll be interesting to see some from the Panthers in this game. It'll be interesting to see how they respond. And then finally, Browns Steelers.
I think it will be the Steelers.
I think it'll be the Steelers. I think this is where the Steelers hype is either going to materialize or we're going to realize they're pretenders.
Yeah.
And like I said, I will always cheer against the Browns. So, go Steelers. Cam, anything to say to our wonderful morning sports audience?
No, I got nothing to say.
Listen, I'll tell you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Drink a lot of extra coffee. And we'll be back next Thursday for more sports news. And we hope no one's injured before then.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time.